Away from Rome, President Bola Tinubu is expected back in Nigeria today after his working visit to Europe. Special advisor to President Tinubu on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, made the announcement in a brief post on his official X handle. President Tinubu departed Nigeria on the 2nd of April for Paris, France. During the visit, he appraised his administration's mid-term performance and assessed key milestones since assuming office. In an earlier statement, Mr. Onanuga emphasized that President Bola Tinubu remains fully engaged in Nigeria's governance despite being away. Even though he was away in Europe, he explained that the president left Paris for London and maintained constant communication with key government officials overseeing critical national matters, including directives to security chiefs to address emerging threats in some parts of the country. And the presidency has responded to comments made by founder of Citadel Global Community Church, Bakare, during his Easter Sunday sermon, where he criticized President Bola Tinubu's leadership style. Special advisor to the president on policy communication, Dana Bola, acknowledged the clergyman's right to express his views. He mentioned that although the presidency differs on some of his positions, it appreciates the overall constructive intent of Pastor Bakare's message. Mr. Bola emphasized that President Tinubu is determined to deliver on the promise to the Nigerian people. And let's bring in political analyst Titilope Anifowose for more on this development. Thanks for joining us on the news this hour.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
Absolutely. So we understand that Mr. President is expected back in the country today. But I'm also sure that you're following all the backlash that greeted his France summit. Some have said the challenge is right here in Nigeria. His critics have been vocal about the fact that perhaps he should have returned when insecurity escalated in places like Benue and what's this other place now? Plateau. What are your thoughts in this regard?
Well, first of all, I think it's very important for us to analyze exactly what our president is doing and what we have gained so far with his visitation to these places. Capital importation has increased, triple. Before now, Nigerians couldn't travel to UAE. Before now, we didn't even have the visa. Before now, we couldn't travel via Etihad, via Emirates Airlines. Before now, we didn't have those robust promise for investment in our country. Before now, we also didn't have ambassadors to man and manage our foreign policies in this country. Before now, Nigeria used to be the undisputable giant of Africa. Only in recent times have we now been able to live up to that title. Indeed, these security challenges are a big deal. However, we cannot mitigate the fact that there has been a reduction in these incidences and occurrences. And do not also forget that we do not just have a Minister of Defense, we now have a National Security Advisor. So is it for the president to now take up the responsibility of individuals who have the tactical, strategic, and professional skills to do this?
Well, some say it's all about perception, that if the president isn't around and there's fire on the mountain, it sends a very wrong message.
The president is one person. We have ministers, we have governors, we have legislators across. We aren't practicing a dictatorial system of government. We are in a national government, a federal system where it is not just Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu alone, but he has capable hands to manage the affairs of the nation. Do not forget that the same people who criticize the president for going around to try to bring goodwill into the nation may also question him if he is seen jumping from one state to another state.
The question that follows that thought would now be, how well are these individuals doing, especially in the area of insecurity? Because in Plateau, for instance, that's one incident too many for a state that has seen quite a number of attacks in that regard. There are new service chiefs under this administration who Nigerians expect should have a unique strategy to attacking this challenge.
Okay, so first, where are we coming from? Where are we now? And where are we going? For the first time in the history of Nigeria, for the first time in recent times, we've been able to analyze and count our successes with reducing the occurrences of these insurgents. It is not just armed robbery. This sort of calamity, let me use that word, doesn't just require you to carry your guns and shoot. It requires a lot of strategy. And with the way they keep rearing their heads, we just have to keep on re-strategizing. So in my opinion, I think that we're doing well with dousing the tension. But you cannot score someone whom you haven't even given an examination to write. So at this point in time, yes, new incidences are coming up, but I believe that so much more will be done, considering the amount of money that is being funneled into fighting and combating insecurity in the country.
In the early days of Mr. President's latest foreign trip, the former president also was out of the country. I think it was a former Senate President, Bakare, who said, after expressing disappointment, did say that it was a dereliction of duty on the part of both Mr. President and his vice to be out of the country at the same time. You're a lawyer. I'm wondering if you think there is any constitutional, challenges to this. But what do you make of the fact that both men are outside at the same time?
Okay, so here's the thing. Why did Nigerians vote for the president? What is the constitutional requirement of having a president and a vice president? If Nigerians wanted just President Bola Tinubu and Shetima to man the affairs of the whole of Nigeria, then there wouldn't even be any need to vote for governors. There wouldn't be any need to even have a legislative arm of government. Neither would we even have local government officials or thereabout. So here is the thing. There is no express provision in the 1999 Constitution or any other stipulation of this country that says that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shetima must be seated in the same place at the same time. So if there is no clear stipulations of the 1999 Constitution, which is the supreme law of our land, why should we bother ourselves with headache? Why can't we focus on things that affect the livelihood of Nigerians?
We're beginning to see some very loud criticism coming from individuals who appear to have been former ally of this administration. We saw the new coalition inspired by the former Kaduna State Governor and quite a number of people in that regard. Just recently, Pastor Bakare, who also, was I think was also wanted to become president on the platform of the APC, is also loudly criticizing this government. What does this say about the Tinubu administration mid-term? Because one of the reasons why he mentioned that he was in France was to evaluate, the impact of his policies in the past 2 years.
Okay, I want to start with Pastor Bakare, because for all of what he said yesterday, the answers to everything he said was right there in his speech. He made reference to Joseph, Egypt. Very beautiful. However, 3 things I took out of what he said. He mentioned expressly that Joseph connected cities. What is happening in the Calabar Coastal Highway is going to be connecting how many states together? Imagine you being able to travel from Badagry to Cross River. Imagine you being able to travel peacefully between Kaduna to Kano, the same roads that have been abandoned. Joseph connected cities. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is connecting cities, number 1. 2, Pastor Bakare also spoke about taxation frugality and what have you. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is at the forefront of reforming our taxation in Nigeria. Joseph did it. Tinubu is also doing the same thing right now. Pastor Bakare also spoke about reforms and increasing passion in the people. Today, over 52 billion naira is being funneled into education loan that's about 486,000 Nigerian students are benefiting from. Joseph did that. President Bola Tinubu is doing that. So for all of what Pastor
I can't remember Joseph sending anyone to school though.
No, Pastor Bakare made reference to Joseph, okay, and he listed out these 3 things. Yeah. And this is 2025. So President Bola Tinubu is doing what Joseph did to make Egypt at the forefront of civilization back then. So it's no news. Now about the coalition. First of all, yes, of course, APC is a result of a coalition. Beautiful. However, the question is, what exactly does this coalition stand to give the Nigerian people? I am a Nigerian. As a matter of fact, I think that tactics another new tenure of, is it 4 or 8?
Good place to leave it.
Thank you.
I think that the conversation is rife because we can't tell who the coalition is supporting. They
Exactly.
might be supporting a southerner,
Exactly.
to further your point of view. But we'll continue this conversation subsequently. Titilope Anifowose, lawyer and political affairs analyst. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.